They had the transcript, they had the log, they had the screenshots and all that shit. What do you think I'm trying to do?
Well, it sounds like you're trying to a 13-year-old girl.
If that's what it looks like, I guess that's what it is then. I mean, yeah, so I have dreams probably about maybe twice, sometimes even 3 times a week of me viciously people.
Okay. So let me tell y'all something. Mentally prepare yourselves for the kind of degeneracy we getting into here today. Like, I mean, I watched the EDP documentary. And if you don't know who EDP is, Lord, if y'all know what I getting ready to expose y'all to today. Oh my God. It's so crazy to think like, y'all don't know. Y'all just don't know. EDP, to put it simply, EDP is a I mean, that's the
Step back, I think I'm gonna vomit!
That quite literally is the long and short of everything I'm going to tell y'all. EDP was a YouTuber and a Now, this is not my first time learning of EDP through the EDP documentary. My first time learning about EDP was probably, let me see, did J. Aubrey have a video on EDP? I feel like if it wasn't J. Aubrey, it was somebody like J. Aubrey who video I watched because I've been learning about EDP. Yes, I know it was my J. Aubrey. J. Aubrey put out a video on EDP 5 years ago. Did I watch it 5 years ago? No, but I watched it before now, so I've been know about EDP. EDP, oh my Lord. It is so crazy who y'all make famous. It like, when you think about it, it's so crazy who y'all make famous. When I watch these nasty ass documentaries about sick, and they have the nerve to have millions of subscribers, boys be like, look at this. This who y'all giving millions of subscribers. I don't know nothing about no millions of subscribers. I don't know nothing about millions. But y'all giving millions of subscribers to And the crazy part is it don't even make no sense why he got popular to begin with. I'm pretty sure. Why are you trying to find nice words to describe a goddamn He's just a big stinking ugly who like the Philadelphia Eagles. Damn. That is quite literally it. Which, by the way, the Philadelphia Eagles need to issue a cease and desist at once.
Electric chair.
Because there's no reason why years after you've been discovered as a you still want to be out here in Eagles gear and everything you in. I mean, whole documentary about you being a and you in Eagles gear from beginning to end. No, listen, Mike Plum, that's what he named. Mike Plum. What he named? Is it Plum? Is it Plum? Mike Plum. Mike Plum, no, he's so wrong. We could get to Mike Plum is actually wrong for a lot in this documentary, Mike. You know, you dead wrong. And I knew Mike knew he was wrong the minute the documentary started and said that all the money was going to be donated. All? Not 50%, not 30%, not 20%, 10%. All of the money getting donated to RAIN, which is a nonprofit that fights against sexual assault and violence against women and children and whatnot. I say all the money, nothing but bottom in here. You know a carrying on bad, you making some sensational, crazy shit when you got to give away all the money to justify it. I say, oh, I getting ready to see So there's much to discuss about Mike Plum, but before we get there, this and he Eagles gear. Who is EDP? EDP is a dude who got popular online for literally just being a crass, nasty, funky ass who love the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm pretty sure that's his rise to fame. Like, Lil Chirin thought he was funny because he crass or whatever.
Ow, my ball!
And then his fall off is them discovering that he's a So I don't know if y'all know. If you're not aware, there's an entire niche of YouTube of who think that they named Chris Hansen and they just run around trying to catch a predator. Here's the thing. Now, let me make sure I say this. Most of the that I've ever seen, most of the I've seen, and this documentary and the ones involved in this one are not an exception to the rule. Most of the I've ever seen involved in this trying to catch a predator stuff are weirdos themselves. I'm thinking of that one. Who's that one that recently got out of jail with the big nose? What his name is? A nut ass man. J. Aubrey have a video on him too. Oh my God, they not showing me. There's so many of them. No man. Vitali. That's what his name. Vitali TV. That literally. He was doing all them stings or trying to catch a predator, but really he be and trapping people. He be getting the wrong people. He be berating innocent people. He himself is a nut-ass abuser who beat the dog shit out of a woman. He going to prison. All this. These just be weird. And the ones involved in trying to catch EDP are not an exception to the rule. They weird too. And we will discuss it because the documentary does. Very important to understand that. While they are weird, nobody weirder than EDP. So, EDP, years ago, they're one of those to catch a predator who could be involved in this documentary here did a sting that he put on YouTube, and to catch EDP, he had an underage girl or a decoy that EDP was texting with and sexting with, who he thought was a 13-year-old girl, and he meet up with the girl around the girl to get cupcakes or whatever.
Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
Hey, we gotta kind of go over things with Sophie. We have you talking to Sophie, correct? Yes or no?
Right. They had the transcripts, they had the logs, they had the screenshots and all that shit.
And they had it all on camera. They catch him. They know he's a The police ain't do nothing, but YouTube did something. So they got him off YouTube. That was the beginning to the end, right? All kind of different YouTubers they have involved in that. Now, for years, he kept trying to come back on YouTube, and YouTube kept banning all his accounts and whatnot. And then that brings us to the trailer dropping for this documentary, because the trailer in and of itself is nuts.
What, are you fucking nuts?
I mean, the reason why I wanted to have sex with a 13-year-old is already fucking clear.
You need to leave.
And I'm like, the sheer ego involved in thinking that because you've gotten away with millions of people being aware that you're a and because the police don't give a which, let me be clear. Let me be clear from the beginning. The only reason EDP is not in prison is because the police don't give a This is Olay and Chill, so I'm not going to sit down and go through a whole deep dive on policing, the history of policing, the purpose of policing, the fact that police are not actually in the business of giving a about protecting anybody, let alone from and sexual predators and all the things that y'all throw out as justifications for why we need to have a massive prison industrial complex. We ain't got that conversation today. I will spare you. Aaron, just put the many intelligent videos I have on my other channels about this that y'all could go to. Just know that this is proof of it, because they spend considerable time in this documentary trying to blame one of the knockoff To Catch a Predator that exposed him, trying to blame him for the reason that EDP is free. Like, oh, if he hadn't that up, oh, he did it wrong, blah, 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 blah. Listen to me. To police, you could. This is America. Understand? Listen. I say this to y'all as somebody who is a public defender, who has represented more than 1,000 people. I can tell you without a shadow of a motherfucking doubt, if the police want to arrest you, they can arrest you. If they want to bring charges on you, all they need to say, all they need to hear is a thing about a motherfucker. Okay? Don't let them convince you that, oh, their hands are tied. They are unable to arrest the that they have caught on man saying he's a and a bunch of young girls saying he was texting them. Please.
Got him.
Do not think that in all these years, if the police wanted to arrest this boy and charge this, not boy, funky, if they wanted to arrest and charge this big funky, they could have. They just chose not to because they don't give a I don't care. And they spend so much time trying to convince you in the documentary because they don't want to put it on the police. They always want to find a way to obfuscate. Every time you watch a documentary, you watching The Worst Neighbor Ever. You watching, me and CJ was just watching any of them. Any of these true crime documentaries, they always have the family and everybody telling you the million ways in which the police failed them, refused to do anything, wouldn't take any action, had all the evidence, XYZ, but the police ain't do nothing. And they always have the police there pretending as though they be killing me. Oh, we need, to prove something beyond a reasonable doubt. Oh my Jesus. As though police and arrests and basic charges has anything to do with prosecutors trying to prove anything beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. As though that has ever been the standard for arresting. Stop this nonsense, okay? If they gave a about this big funky preying on your children, they would put a stop to it. But importantly, let me make sure I make this clear, because it's clear that it's not clear to EDP. He have it in his big, stinking, stupid melon head.
I think you're ugly. I think you're fat. I think you're stupid.
That because they ain't do nothing about it in all this time, because they wasn't able to build a case on him based on this failed sting operation, he somehow convinced himself that means he could get up in front of a camera, not one camera, multiple cameras, different angles, over a period of time and sit in a documentary and tell you he is a
Yes, well, maybe, but only if you're a good girl. What are you trying to do here with this?
What do you think I'm trying to do?
Well, it sounds like you're trying to sexually assault a 13-year-old girl.
If that's what it looks like, I guess that's what it is then. I mean...
He telling you he following 13-year-old little girls and he's sending them sexy talk.
You know what though, Mike? It's perfectly fine. It's great. Everybody hates a pedophile, right?
Well, yes.
Fuck the fact that you're ruining my goddamn life, right? It's fucking wonderful. This world is fucked up, man.
I I was so blown away because it was clear when he was talking, his ego, I'm gonna get into the documentary. I'm gonna walk y'all through the entire documentary, but I just have to start with this shit. It is clear this mother thinks he somehow, like, this what happens when you don't understand the law and double jeopardy and your rights and things. He was acting as though because the police never arrested him, he said he was never in an investigation, he was never arrested and nothing happened involving all the public allegations of him being a in all these years. He thinks somehow that means they can't bring the charges.
Electric chair.
Like, he's like, oh, Alex. I'm pretty sure Alex is the name of the faker Sanson who f***ed up the sting, right? He's like, oh, because Alex did it wrong because you're not supposed to, be the one that initiates, the decoy isn't supposed to be the one that initiates the conversation. It's supposed to let them, like, come to you. Because he did that wrong. Oh, he f***ed it all up. He literally said, like, oh, I would have been in jail if he didn't f*** it all up. I'm like, baby.
Maybe prison is where you belong because of this.
If it was where I belong, I'd be in shackles right now, so.
You are ugly and dumb. You are brainless.
It's not like they brought the charges and they lost the case and now they can't bring the charges again. They never charged you, which means they can charge you. It's not like they're forbidden for getting any other kinds of evidence. It's not like, oh, Alex it up and now it means nothing. They cannot prosecute you when they have you in 4K admitting to going over there to a 13-year-old girl. I mean, listen to me. I need y'all to understand. I'm shit y'all no word of lie. This motherfucker sits down for an hour and a half and tells you every sick, depraved thought to ever come across his sick motherfucking mind with the ego of a, and the thing is, I can't even say ego because he clearly hates his self. You know what? Let's get started. Let's start on the documentary. First of all, they introduce us to EDP. Oh Lord, there's so much to say. First of all, EDP tells us that he had a really good childhood, but as he telling us that he had a really good childhood, he literally has tears in his eyes and he doesn't tell us shit about said childhood. Let me tell you something. You'll never convince me. I hear they say his parents dead and I wish they could dig him up so I could talk to him.
Don't stop. Go on.
Cause something gonna ride with this. You'll never convince me this motherfucker had a really good childhood. No, something had to go wrong. Nah, something went gravely wrong with this. But he say he had a really good childhood. And then in like the 8th grade or something, boy, let me tell you something. The way men will waterboard you to motherfucking death with whatever little girl didn't like them in high school or primary school. And yet,
grow the fuck up. You're not children anymore.
Listen to me. As somebody who's been listening to men do this my whole life, tell you these ass stories, it blows my mind because every woman I know has some horrific stories behind men. Could really tell you, like, not even just like abuse and stuff like that, but just if we talking hurt feelings, the kind of things that men tell you is their justification for why they hate women for the rest of their life and they don't trust them. Men be like, I liked a girl in high school and she didn't like me back, so I hate women. Meanwhile, you could tell those same men that a man cheated on you, your mother slapped you in the face 3 times, stole all your money, and they'd be like, why are you putting it on all men? Why don't you take accountability? What's wrong with you? Why are you speaking in generalizations? It's not all men. Them same boy. But they'll be telling me, I'm like, do you consider this trials and tribulation? Like, even by high school standards, he's like, this is story for why he became a wicked hate women. Well, what made him hate these bitches. He said there was a girl, he really liked her. She would like act like she liked him and hold his hand whole time she started dating another. That's the story. That's the story. I say this it? This your big trauma? But anyway, from there, and oh Lord, they have a child, they have these reenactments. The whole time as he's telling you the story, they have hired some poor, innocent, fat black child to depict EDP. Oh, I would love to know what the they paid this young man to put on a Eagles hat. I tell you, the Eagles need a cease and desist. To put on an Eagles hat and just they have the boy naked, he belly out. They have him imitating, masturbating, all his titties gyrate. I say, well, Lord, who tell you we need all this? I say, Jesus, what make you feel like you had to hire to play to reenact the story, man? What is this? But anyway, he say when he almost freshly out of high school, and this is how he told the story, Lord, because again, it's the origin story of how he became EDP. He said he became EDP because he had literally just finished jacking off when he decided to make his YouTube, and he wanted to call himself Eat That Pussy. That's what EDP stand for. Eat That Pussy. It's so crazy to me because he said it as though his name was so consistent with the activity he was just doing. Like, oh, I just finished masturbating, so that's why I decided to name myself some shit I ain't never done. You ain't never ate no pussy. You ain't never ate no pussy then. You ain't never ate no pussy since. The whole video, this truly, like by actual definition, what an incel is. He gets no pussy. No pussy, no huzz, no hoes, no bitches, no gals, no nothing. Okay? Not a goddamn mother thing. But he decides to name himself Eat That Pussy. Now, because YouTube would frown on spelling out Eat That Pussy as their YouTube name, he decides to go with EDP. Now, EDP was taken, so he said he needed some numbers. So he said he put some random numbers on the end at first, and that's it. That felt generic. And this would really blew my mind. The man say, then he gone on the scale, and he say, boom, I got it. He could put his weight after his name. So he said EDP445. And let me tell you something. I was flabbergasted. He said, never in this motherfucking life would I have fathomed that the 445 is a telling you he weighed 445 pounds. Not to say you can weigh 445 pounds. I just say the sheer shock on who the could think a name Eat That Pussy. I weigh 500 pounds. Like that name, it should tell you his head ain't no good, and it only could get crazier from there. So now he says he gets popping on YouTube, super popping. Man end up with millions of subscribers, which again, I say, that's so crazy. Like, that's so crazy. As a gal who's work hard. Oh my God, that's so crazy. But anyway, he ends up with millions of subscribers, and he say his real dismay. He have millions of subscribers. He get into the bag. He had over $100 and some thousand in his account. What I found funny was in trying to express that he was a big baller, like his shock at the fact that he still wasn't getting no hoes. He was like, I had me a brand new Hyundai Elantra. And I was like, nothing wrong with an Elantra. Let me be clear, okay? CJ pop up at him a nice Hyundai Elantra, okay? And I know if y'all seen the new Elantra, the 2026, they have one with a little sport mode. It come in light blue. It have a little sport bumper at the back. I am not slandering the Hyundai Elantra. I am not. I love a nice, good, affordable car that you could buy without a silly car note. Now, what I was confused about was what would make one think that a Hyundai Elantra would be a hoe magnet. Why would that be something you would think? Who in the history of ever has thought such a thing? But he did. And he was upset that despite the fact that he's so successful now, blah, blah, he still ain't getting no pussy. So that's when he comes up with the brilliant idea. I drained even just thinking about it. That's when he decides, oh, well, if adult women ain't giving me no pussy, what about children?
At that point in time, I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? At that point in time, I was willing to do whatever the fuck I had to do to get some sort of attention.
Believe it or not, jail right away.
And I should be clear too. Don't even think, not that who the fuck, who among us would ever be copping pleas for this? So I don't even know why I'm saying this as though I assumed y'all would be trying to give him no grace. But just in case there is a crazy mother out there who sympathizes with incels who can't get bitches, let me just be clear. This isn't just desperation. It's not just like he don't like little kids. He just thought his best chance of getting sex was little kids. No. He likes little kids. That he likes children. That is something this sick motherfucker makes abundantly clear through both his actions and his words throughout the entire documentary. So don't even miss and think he was just desperate and his back was to the wall and that's why he started trying to kids.
You were interested in having sex with a 13-year-old, yes or no?
Correct.
Okay, and you said
Correct.
okay, all right.
No, he's a nasty, sick ass. I want y'all to know this was in this documentary telling you in graphic detail every which way he want to these little girls, blaming the little girls, telling you all his plans for the little girls. He is telling you, Cole, that they said they was 13, that he was following literally strictly little girls. Like he not pretending that's not the case. I want to be clear.
He had around 300 to 400 accounts he was following. The problem with that is around 120 to 130 of these accounts, 13-year-olds. 14-year-olds.
Oh Lord, he remind me of. I always tell a story in real life to my real friends and stuff. If I've represented 1,000 people before, there's only one single I ever represented that I was like, oh, you a sick. And what made him immediately sick to me was exactly what made EDP very obviously sick, because the I telling y'all about, what made the one dude, I'm thinking of in my brain, the one dude I ever tell y'all I represented that made me knew he was a motherfucking weirdo. It wasn't his charges weren't particularly serious. It wasn't like he was charged with something crazy, anything like that. No. It's not the charges. It's what the said. Okay, it's what he said. When he sat down, when I go meet him in the cell, it was like, this is some bullshit. So I'm like, oh, this is some bullshit. Like, these charges are a lie. They've made this up on you. Oh, okay, I get it. All right? Like, you'd be mad if you get arrested for some shit you ain't do, right? So he was like, this is some bullshit. And I was like, oh, so you didn't do it? And he was like, nah, I did it. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, well, let me read you the charges and whatnot. And he still was like, this is some bullshit. So I'm like, it ain't 2 + 2 ain't adding up right now. They arrest you for something they say you do. You telling me you did do it, but you saying it's some bullshit. Huh? Okay. And so I remember telling him like, okay, well, for the future, as I'm going through the stuff or whatever, you can't touch women without their consent, you know?
I give it to you. You got me there.
And like, that's something, like I wasn't lecturing him. I need you to understand like how I was saying this. This like, as a lawyer, this is me, you know, taking my notes. Like I'm talking and passing. I'm looking down as I say that. I was like, okay, well, you know, in the future, you can't touch women without their consent. And he was like, I can do whatever the I want to them. And I was like, this cell just get dead small for anybody. And that's how EDP was giving it up. Because EDP is sitting down telling you he's a yet he have a problem with everybody else. He's angry. He's outraged. He hate everybody that exposed him for being a and call him a But sir, you were telling us you're you sitting there telling me worse shit about you and showing me worse shit about you than anything anybody else ever said in this motherfucker. But he literally, like, the first dude, there's several different characters they bring up as associated with his downfall, as exposing him as a First is this dude, I think his name is Alex. Then this other name, what he named? Somebody Raven, Candid Raven, or some Raven. Let me look on YouTube. Because I knew he was too. This one is a super Ravens fan. Like how he was a super Eagles fan. So like, you know, this is a sworn enemy. His name was Cold Raven. So it's Alex, Cold Raven, and Gideon. Lord, we could get to Gideon. But anyway, he was calling Alex everything but a child of God, and how he's sitting there on man. I need y'all to understand, this my way is not just telling us he's a and admitting to all the crimes. He telling you how he want to murder people. Like this. Oh, Jesus Christ. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I say mother's sick. I feel so bad for this future defense attorney. You don't know how horrible it feels. You don't know how horrible it feels to have to represent on a case where he done admit to the shit. He done confessed to it. Oh, nothing's worse. Nothing is worse. Nothing is worse than arraigning a motherfucker. They tell you they have no idea what this is about. They don't know anything about it. They have nothing to do with it. And then you get out in front of the judge and they make their statement notice, and all of a sudden the prosecutor start reading to you a long statement confessing to every motherfucker thing. You be like, oh my God. Oh my God. I feel so bad for the poor innocent public defender that is gonna have to take this bullshit case where he done and you know what's annoying too? Mark my words, when this inevitably gets arrested and charged with everything under the sun, and a public defender will have to represent him because he is broke. When a public defender represents him, watch him have the nerve to blame the public defender for why he go to prison or have to take a plea deal, like he did not admit to being a on Maine for an hour-and-a-half long documentary. Oh, y'all don't get me started on how I feel about the way love to blame the public defender for the options that they have based on, you know what, I getting into a long, you know what, let's stay where I'm supposed to stay. You see, I've fallen out of my bucket. I going into criminal justice rounds. That's my bad. I'm back to it.
My bad, pimp.
My apologies. Oh, where was we with this? Boom. So he not only admitted to being he admitted to be a murder planner. Like all he has spent his time doing is fantasizing about little children and murdering people who talk about him little children. Oh my God. And when I tell you this guy is a dick, like y'all have to just use y'all have to use clips of this man throughout this whole thing. I cannot do justice the way this is talking and how he's coming. He's like, oh yeah, like whatever. Everybody hates a so it's okay that these guys want to ruin my life. And it's like,
I was clearly aware of the law, and I was clearly aware of what I was doing. So as much as they wanna write all this fucked up shit about me online, and I should be in jail, prison, felon, I should be on the sex offenders list and all this bullshit.
We're gonna send these motherfuckers to hell.
My thoughts on Alex Rosen is I feel like he's a piece of shit. I feel like he should burn in hell and go fucking die, if I'm being completely honest with you. Give me Kayla's address, because I'm about to hop in this car and I'm about to go blow this bitch's brains out.
Are you good? Like, are you serious? So then here comes Gideon. Because Alex's original sting was botched in some way, Gideon decides that he wants to take up the mantle. Oh, Lord. Gideon is another one I've watched many a video essay about because he's another hot mess. Gideon, come on down. Oh, all these needs to go to jail. Like I say, all these in this space weird. So Gideon comes on in association with some other name, but he's called himself Skeet Hansen. I think that's what it is. Skeet. He's a Chris Hansen. He calls himself a Chris Hansen impersonator, and he calls himself Skeet something. Imagine you out here, you trying to stop predators, and the name you decide to represent that is Skeet somebody. Skeet. These people so unserious, yeah? So anyway, Gideon decides to get an actual, like, oh Lord, I don't even remember how they say to start, but just know, EDP starts talking to a 15-year-old girl, who he knows is a 15-year-old girl. He's trying to this 15-year-old girl. He's sending this 15-year-old girl all kind of sexually explicit XYZ. Gideon want to catch him. All of this really exposes the fundamental problem with all of these is like, they don't have any interest in truly stopping predators or protecting children. They just doing it for views and clout, and they feel like it's a good way to farm engagement. Because the thing is, it's like, they feel like there's no limit on what they could do. Because when somebody is considered who you see in them dealing with as you will allow whatever kind of shenanigans and that they do. And that's why Gideon and all these people love doing this nonsense. Not because they give a about protecting children. And that's going to be clear in every choice that Gideon makes. Because please tell me why. Gideon invites the known into his Discord so that he could talk to the young children in his Discord. And when EDP starts talking to this 15-year-old girl in Gideon Discord, Gideon there egging the girl on to keep talking to him, and he, oh Lord, Gideon say, oh, I didn't tell her to make it explicit, and I told her not to be sexual, and I told her not to send pictures, and I told her not to do all this different stuff. But the 15-year-old girl, who's now 18, is in the documentary saying that Gideon tell her to do every motherfucking thing under the sun. She makes clear that not only is EDP himself a who preyed on her and all of this, but that Gideon himself is a problem too, because he actively encouraged this, and it's all very gross and very sick.
I am going to explode in 6 seconds.
But remember, I tell y'all, Michael, I'm dead on serious too, because even in this, he's showing you as the girl making accusations about Gideon, and the whole thing is so crazy, because regardless of, they have all these people's different side of the story, but it really doesn't matter what the anybody talking about, because at the end of the day, the girl was underage. EDP was knowingly and intentionally talking sexually to a underage girl and trying to her. So that's the end of that on being weird.
If it was legal, would you have had sex with Kayla?
If it was legal, oh, I would have fucking turned that ass out. I would have fucking ate her ass out, my nigga, and made a funnel cake about her shit. You know what I mean?
Gideon and them, in the same breath that they trying to pretend they trying to protect children, they was exposing this 15-year-old girl in their audience to this predator. So like, everybody weird. So to me, it goes without saying that the girl is right when she say that Gideon was weird. But they put at the end of her, like, expressing her feelings, they have like a running list of all the different things that she said about Gideon that are clearly designed to, like, to some extent also make her look crazy. Like, it's like on this list of things you see run by there, like, she thinks Gideon is in the Illuminati and all these different things that make it sound so outlandish and so wild, it cast doubt on, what she's saying. But child, no, sir. I don't care about anything else. Gideon and the other one was like,
oh, I think she's kind of, taking advantage of this situation, like using it for clout. So I'm like,
what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? What are all of you doing? Who gives a what reason you think she has for talking about the grown man predator trying to her? Like, what are we talking about? We assessing her motivations and not you. Go to hell.
Kill yourself!
Anyway, after this is done, Gideon and them do a sting. They do another botched hot mess sting that they try to do to expose EDP this girl. But in the course of this, when the sting happened, EDP starts texting the 15-year-old girl, threatening to kill her, calling every kind of bitch, all kind of names under the sun, all of which Gideon them know, and still out here like continuing on with this foolishness. And then EDP sitting up on the documentary telling you now how he would have her and saying what kind of body she had on her, even though he knows she was underage. Like, I say, what is this? And then he talking about how he want to kill a little girl. I say, Jesus Christ. Like, Lord, they gotta throw him under the jail. They gotta throw him under the motherfucking jail. Then at some point in time, he just get up and start telling you everybody. They have two different lists. First is his bitch list, where he get up and tell you every motherfucker on YouTube he hates. Like, just saying all kind of derogatory, nasty up insults. And the funny thing is, when you see the list, it's just so clear what era of YouTube he's from. You know what I mean? What era of YouTube he was popping in, because all his ops, like the list is Moist Critical and hold on, is Moist? I always just get this wrong. Moist Critical and Penguin Zero are the same person, right? Hold on, let me make sure I get this right. Moist Critical and Penguin Zero is the same guy, right? But Asmongold is a different guy that just looked just like Moist Critical and Penguin Zero, who are not two guys, but one guy with two different names who look like this other guy with a different name, right? That's it, right, Aaron?
Sure, close enough, I guess.
Anyway, that's the he hate. He hate them. He hate Hassan. It's so funny because his list, being on his list, honestly serves as an endorsement. Like, oh, you on the shit list of a evil, nasty, disgusting, wicked. Like, good for you. The only person who didn't deserve, like, truly ain't deserved to be on that shit list, because I think they actually are shitty from what I know, was he had a creator on there called Keemstar. And to my knowledge, Keemstar is a shitty too, but I assume Keemstar must have, condemned him for being a because, the Barlow, you could be a shitty and still see is wrong. Anybody who had anything negative to say about EDP being a which he admits to, he was shitting on the list. And then his list of the best people, Lord, it's so crazy. Like, I just don't even understand. I just don't understand this young man. His list of all the people he loves is the Tate brothers, Donald Trump, Fresh and Fit, Ben Shapiro, and Just Pearly Things. I mean, need I say more? That's who we love. That should, I say, child, just said, if you listen to Ben Shapiro, you're going to be successful in life.
Give me everything you got for this wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop. So this suggests that there's an awful lot of, not to be too graphic, but some sort of medical discharge that's happening here.
A big stinking broke pedophile who laying on the floor, leg, ashy toe breakup. If y'all see how he look in this documentary, Mike Klum know he's so wrong for how he's going his way to make sure you understand this a big, funky, nasty motherfucker. Yeah, but after the longest, he's just talking about his desperate, miserable life and how he hate women and he can't get no pussy and he trying to figure out a way to like not like children. Like he even goes at some point in time in the documentary, they show that he started going to therapy to try to address being a and that was short-lived because they show you in the documentary by the time the thing airing, he ain't in therapy no more, but they show him even like talking to the therapist, and then eventually. Oh my God. Oh Lord. I promise y'all, if he wasn't quite literally a danger to society and a wicked, like truly evil, like nothing redeemable, degenerate. Oh, that reminds me. Oh my God. Thinking of him being like, a net negative for society, that just reminded me he's dying. I'm sorry. God was already intervening. God will make a way. He said, if the police ain't gonna do nothing, I shall. So he's dying. Like, that's it. They say he on dialysis. They say if he missed one dialysis appointment, he dead. And I'm not mad at that. I can't say like this is not a guy who I can say that I feel for. Like, I don't think that this is a redeemable guy. I don't think that this is a guy you could save. I don't think there's any book you could give him that could make him better. I think I say all that to say, I would feel in a different life, like I almost would pity him because he clearly hates himself so much. Like, you see it? He despises himself. He hates himself. He hates his life. And that clearly the only way he know how to cope and move through the world is to be nasty and hate. You know what it is? He have, none of the funny, none of the charisma, and, all of the but he has all the hate that Stink Mina had in the Boondocks. You know what I mean? Like when they show Stink Mina backstory and they're like, all his life, Colonel Stink Mina been an angry, hateful motherfucker, just hating the world and hating everybody and hate.
Yeah, so I have dreams probably about maybe twice, sometimes even 3 times a week of me viciously killing people, viciously slaughtering people.
That's this. And like I say, I would feel bad for him, but I don't. He's like really, really horrible. Like he does not have a single millisecond, not a moment, not a single half a second where you feel for him, where he seemed redeemable. And I say that let me tell y'all, listen, y'all don't understand. I can make a case for just about anybody. Or I can make a case about the humanity of anybody, okay? If you've watched my Why Serial Killers Are Monsters, go watch that video, my actual Illuminati production, because I promise you, the production is not what you're thinking based on the title. You can go watch that when you're done here on my main channel, Illuminati. But if you've watched it, you know good and well, I can make a case now for the worst of but this right here. Because say what you want, Jeffrey Dahmer and them know better than to be talking like this. You do not have an hour and a half footage of like Jeffrey and them like, yeah, I did that. That's how this is. Like Ted Bundy and them ain't talking to you like that. Like even if they felt that way, they never talk to you as talking. This is horrible. So where we at? He dying. Dying, still ain't getting no pussy. So then when you look, they showing him on the dating apps and whatnot. And boy, this sitting down on the floor. He on a stained mattress on the floor. And it's not even, I don't even, like barely a real mattress, man. It could even be an air mattress for all I know. But he is on a stained mattress on the literal floor with his whole, listen, you have to show him, I mean, whole leg, like leg in the camera. Ashy, gross sister, proud family level, ashy. They showing you his toes, he break up everything about him. I mean, he couldn't look stinker. And this is a imagine, do you know how crazy it is to agree to do a documentary and to know the camera crew come in and to be on the floor with your whole heaping leg of ash just stretch out, sprawl out? You cannot put on lotion. If you can't put on lotion for the camera, since I know you don't even have no lotion, you beast. Oh my God. But as he's sitting on his mattress on the ground, staying up mattress, ashy up, he have the nerve, he on the dating apps, he shows you one black woman and then he just starts telling you that this black woman have 8 children to like, and start shitting on her 8 mother kids, 8 this, da. First of all, I sure that innocent black woman, he don't know that woman. Are you sure he just saw a black woman? This everything about him is just a nasty incel. And he just decided, oh, I'm a cause she have a bunch of baby daddies and blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. Even if she did, even if she have 8 mother kids, and even if she have them for 8, that's 8 more than ever you, okay? All right? Listen, I don't care if she pop pussy for 8. Ain't none was you, okay? All right? Listen. But he starts talking shit about this woman, talking shit about the black woman. He's sitting there saying all kind of disparaging things. And then all you see when you look at his dating profile, right? Because Michael, I'm showing you all of this. It's nothing but big white women, which like, you know, fine. But that's all he into, right? So he shows you this regular, degular, looking ass white woman. He's like, she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Because I want to remind you, this is a big stinking Trumper ass. I feel like normally when someone is like a black person who hates black people, I would draw some attention to that. But when they're just feels secondary, tertiary even. Like, you know what I mean? Like at that point, I don't really need your racial solidarity. We as black people don't need you, so I don't have a problem with that. You go ahead and be a you put on your MAGA hat, you get on the floor, lay on your mattress on the floor, don't lotion your leg, find your white woman, do whatever you want to do. Because at the end of the day, them white ladies don't want him neither. Because tell me why. When your next look, Michael, and he putting the text under the screen, it's dead funny. He's like, EDP actually got a girlfriend. Out comes this white lady. Like, I don't want to bully this lady, but also she was voluntarily dating a so I do kind of want to bully this lady, but I won't. Well, no, I won't. I can't bully her harder than life clearly has, because what the are you doing? Dating EDP. But even that, he starts telling you all how he love a woman. He's gonna trip over the woman. They've been dating for a whole year. They on the couch just being themselves. Lord. And he telling you all about her, and she telling you, she can get up on the camera and tell you, they ask her, do you think EDP would talk to, you know, children, underage children? We would, and she starts telling us, no, I don't believe the EDP that I'm dating, I don't believe he would do that. And it's like, what the are you talking about? What do you mean you don't believe he would do? I don't understand why people just ask people, like, that's like asking somebody whether or not they believe the sky is blue. Who the give a what this crazy nut bitch say? You know the sky is blue. And then right there telling you the sky is blue. Like, what do you mean? This is a whole documentary. He's voluntarily participating in this documentary, telling them the documentary named The Sick Mind of EDP. And EDP is sitting there voluntarily telling you all about his sick ass mind. And she could say, no, not the EDP I date. Girl, yes, that EDP. What are you talking about? Like, my thing is, if you're gonna date I mean, whatever. I guess. But if you're gonna date him, why are you pretending like that's not what he is? As when he himself isn't pretending that's what he is. That is what the he is. But anyway, she tell him that. And then when you look, quick as that, Michael decides to ask her, like, oh, how's the sex? Let me tell you, she goes from a fervent EDP dick rider in no uncertain terms to the minute they ask how the sex is, this gal starts stuttering. And then when you look, she say she's refused to have sex with EDP. Lord, So, and I was just like, I don't even understand, like, what's the, like, I understand why one wouldn't want to EDP. You ain't got to explain to me why you don't want to EDP. What you do have to explain to me is why you dating EDP for a year, period. You obviously know something we know. You could see, know, understand what we know and understand and see to why you don't want EDP. So why are you there, lady?
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
And like, child, but she do all that caping and dick riding for EDP, only for him to spin around and dump her because she wouldn't grind him. And just like the wicked incel he was, they had just shown him in the documentary when they was together. He loved her. He's this, she loved. You see him all over, dead happy. This and the next thing, he was with the woman for a year. But because she wouldn't him, as soon as they break up, and he had a documentary like she was annoying as I hated her. She was annoying. I didn't like nothing about her, insulting her. And I was like, this is the problem. This is why you can't even feel bad for like this. I'm telling you, you cannot feel bad for him. He's the absolute mother worst. And then I trying to think, anything else? Oh Lord, and then I forget. Jesus Christ. While we on the topic of sick who will stand by weirdos, they say EDP ain't got many friends. All his friends blocked him after they found he was except one who they come and bring, and he, listen to me, this man had must see less than a full minute of screen time, and that minute was all he needed. That minute was all the police needed to have grounds to get themselves a search warrant, because they need to lock that up. In reference to like, oh, EDP having sexual conversations with minors, he was like, who of us hasn't said inappropriate things to people before? Who of us hasn't what? And then they start talking about how EDP loves the children. I said, Lord Jesus Christ, where this going? They're like, oh, would you let your children be around EDP? Please tell me. Oh Lord Jesus. They was like, would you let your children be around EDP? And he was like, yes, absolutely. He's gonna there's nothing wrong with him. I let my children be around him. And then when you next look, this brings his little girl, a little black girl, over to the house to be with EDP. And when you next look, and I say, Michael, I know you're wrong for this. He ain't as wrong as the who allowing this, like his child to be there and all of this. But matter of fact, they start showing you a series of pictures of EDP with little girls. Like, who are these people in his life that are letting this big, nasty touch their little ass, hold their little ass girls? He started talking about making, like, tickling them and make girl, oh my God, all kind of sick shit. They literally had this little girl next to him on the floor in the documentary, and she's so uncomfortable. He in front of her, he on a mat. Jesus Christ. You know what it is to be a little girl on a mattress on the floor with a 500-pound already have you on the floor. Ain't nowhere to go. Do you realize that ain't nothing this imagine Snorlax try to you. What you could do to get Snorlax off you. Imagine Snorlax already have you on the ground. What the you could do? They have this big nasty next to this little girl, and he's saying all kind of crass, nasty shit in front of the little girl, and you could tell the little child uncomfortable. She doesn't speak. When he talks to her, like, they have her face blurred, but her body language is clear regardless, and she doesn't answer him. I say, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Listen to me good. They ain't never been a that needed to be in jail more than this. Not throw him under the jail. You throw him under it, and Y'all have to go watch that. Just go watch that. That's some wild shit, okay? Y'all know your girl has merch, right? That's right. The Allure Naughtyverse has merch, so you can rep your favorite channel. Whether you're an Allure Naughty pop girl like myself, an Olay and chill enthusiast like my baby sister, an Olay and friends stan like all my friends, somebody who likes to scream with me on Allure Naughty Bites, or somebody who locks in for a 2-hour Allure Naughty production, we've got something for you. We've got mugs, shirts, and hats. It's all very cute because Cartoon Me is adorable. Shout out to Toonrific Tariq for being the man behind her. And to my pop watchers in particular, please know that you wore me down, and I finally gave y'all a Shoot Me With Your Big Gun merch that y'all kept begging for. Look how cute your Shoot Me With Your Big Gun merch is. Oh my God, to be an Allure Naughty pop girly. But I genuinely love my merch, not just because it's mine, but because I ordered everything myself before showing it to y'all so I could make sure the quality was good, because I could not have y'all spending y'all hard-earned money on garbage, which is why I'm pleased to report that I have a cupboard full of the most beautiful glossy mugs and a drawer full of the comfiest Allure Naughty shirts. So if you've ever wanted to support the channel or rep your favorite corner of the Allure Naughtyverse, or just walk around with my cartoon face on your chest like a true fan, check out the merch store linked in the description below, or go to Allure Naughty Illuminati-shop.fourthwall.com to make sure you get your Illuminati merch. Again, that's Illuminati-shop.fourthwall.com, or click the link in the description below, or use the QR code on screen to run me your money today. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, congratulations! You've officially wandered into the Illuminati-verse. Now, before you get overwhelmed, let me explain where exactly you've landed, because apparently one YouTube channel was not enough for me. If you're looking for my biggest productions, the kinds of videos that require me to disappear into a cave for 6 weeks and emerge with an existential crisis, subscribe to Illuminati, my flagship channel, where you'll find my magnum opuses like If Pretty is a Privilege, Ugly is a Curse, How This Didn't Age Well Destroyed Media Literacy, How Men Become Aziz Ansari, Why Serial Killers Aren't Monsters, and so much more. If you're here because you love television, movies, and hearing me explain why everybody misunderstood your favorite character, subscribe to Illuminati Pop, my TV and film essay channel. That's where you'll find fun deep dives on How I Met Your Mother, Sex and the City, Desperate Housewives, You, Euphoria, Insecure, Girlfriends, and more. And if you'd like to watch my videos uncensored, get early access, and support the channel directly, just join the Illuminati Pop Patreon. If you are looking for chaos and a good time, subscribe to Olay and Chill, where I unpack reality TV, TikTok drama, documentaries, chaos in internet, and whatever nonsense the internet has cooked up this week. If you'd like to watch me and some of my favorite Black creators and thinkers come together to discuss the culture, subscribe to Olay and Friends. If you're looking for shorter commentary on whatever the internet is currently spiraling about or whatever's on my mind, subscribe to Illuminati Bites. If you want to watch me and my bitch Kenny JD laugh, overshare, talk a little shit, and unpack the messiness of life, love, and the internet, and whatever foolishness we watching, subscribe to Olay and Kenny. If politics is more your thing and where you know me from, subscribe to Illuminati Politics for my State of the Union like addresses on O Squared. And if music is your thing and you want to hear what I think about the latest albums and what I'm getting into, subscribe to Illuminati Extras. Subscribe to whichever corners of the Illuminati-verse speak to you, or subscribe to all of them and become a full-time resident. And while you're at it, you can follow me everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Twitter at Illuminati. You can also follow Illuminati Pop and Olay and Chill and Olay and Friends on social media so you never miss a thing. Welcome again to the Illuminati-verse. Now go look around a little bit, make yourself at home.